Recording in progress.
I think we can call to order. We have a quorum, right? And we'll call to order at 6:04. And first item is meeting minutes. We have 8:18 and 8:21. I think we'll look for a motion on the 8:18 unless
They look good to me.
both of them.
Yeah, there were a couple of proper noun name typos on the ones on the
All right, well, again, just
25th, but those
we'll
are
do that-
minor
We'll do that next week.
things. The 25th, I thought it looked pretty good too.
So we
But
get
you want a motion on the 18th?
Sure.
I'll move we approve as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have, Emily? For the
Yes.
meeting?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mark? Todd?
I wasn't there, so.
Todd was on the 18th, okay. And who else is on? Frank?
Frank.
All right, those are all set, thank you. hmm. Moving on to Lynch, masonry progress, next step schedule.
So the mason, they need to hire a contractor to finish, to do the whole cleaning of that facade. They try to get somebody to come out, this Wednesday.
We're talking about cleaning, not the Ariscraft though.
This is the Ariscraft.
Oh, it is.
This is the Ariscraft, the staining, sorry, the staining.
Okay.
They need to get somebody to do that full wall that we asked them to do. So they need to get
I
somebody.
apologize, I'm interrupting you. So Empire came out and they did the little test area, and then based on our favorable impression, Empire is saying now they want to hire somebody to do it and they
Yeah.
don't want to do it themselves.
They're not gonna do it themselves. They need to hire somebody. I don't think last time, I don't think they did it themselves. They brought someone in,
Oh,
but they have to get like the whole, that was probably like a sample.
that's why I'm bringing it up is if the labor is doing the test and we like
Mhm.
the test, I don't want to be sure we're not bringing on a different crew of people
Yeah.
to treat the wall and then we get a different result.
Yes.
So they're coming out.
Stay observation?
Huh? No, it's
Okay.
great. And I think it's not Empire,
Okay.
from what my understanding.
Yeah,
I think.
So they're gonna come out for a walkthrough on Wednesday and get the quote on that, and then they'll get us a plan, to do that entire wall. The brick cleaning, they said is completed over the weekend on Saturday. So Chris Shockey, if you can maybe schedule a review with the owner, we will do a similar walkthrough. Next item.
Next item is Griffin update. Oh, no, sorry, Brooklyn, Parkhurst closeouts. That would be Meg, right?
Yeah, and I
Are
think,
you helping with that?
yeah, I think we're pretty good on that one.
Okay.
I believe Triumph is working on getting all kind of geared up for that bottom of the ramp.
Okay, so have you've turned over a drawing?
Yep, they have the
And
drawing, they have the,
Priced it?
yep.
So, has anyone seen that price?
Meg has seen
Okay.
and has that. And she's,
I know I've been on some emails with the fence going to get going this week.
okay,
And they're gonna reseed next week, I guess, but, I haven't seen anything on the ramp.
okay, yes, I believe, so I was talking with Trent this afternoon, they received a signed change order from the customer, like the
Yeah.
town. And executed earlier this month, last week.
You don't know how much it was for, right? Any chance? No? Okay.
Not off the top of my head, I think it,
Do you have record of that, Angie? for the-
Meg has it and I can find it. You give me a moment.
No, it's all right. We'll follow up, but at least we know the Parkhurst is going and.
Yes,
get
it is
wrapped up.
moving.
All right, update on Griffin then. Back to Andy.
So Griffin, they're gonna try to finish the wiring of the solar panels for at the canopy, between this week and next week. And then the relay is still coming on October 10th. That's a long lead item and it will be coming October 10th. They will take about a week for them to finish that. So by October 20th, everything will be done and they're gonna be tested. And then from there, they will turn it over to the owner to finish the interconnection with Eversource. But Griffin is looking to demobilize at the end of October. I sent out a notice to Bray, putting Bray on notice regarding to the solar. I think we need them to wrap up as soon as possible because right now it's still a concern safety concern, with the lift out there and, there's a lot of activity over the weekends. So I sent that out before, the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, the school department was nicer than I would have been to give them permission to work during the day. And they're taking advantage of it because they're all over. I mean, there's 3
Yeah.
spots going on.
Yeah,
They should be concentrated in one area, but Saturday, it was great to see this place hopping Saturday. The fields are full. The playground out here was full. Kids were at the turf. It was just hopping, but there was no way they left all their stuff out and used it. And I was by here twice on Saturday. They're just not, they're taking advantage of the situation. It would only take like 20 minutes to clean their mess up. And they were not doing long days because they were working weekends, and then they weren't here Saturday, and it was a beautiful day, so. And any idea when we get the schedule on the gutters, how long that will take? Because that's probably gonna be a few weeks, right? Gutters and downspouts,
Probably like a few weeks, yeah.
so we're into the
I-
end of October right now, I think.
I think they can do it concurrent with right now. I mean, I don't see why they
They
can't.
should
do
be
it.
in there.
They
Yeah.
should be in there doing
It
the
should be
cutter.
following them with
Yeah, so there was an RFI for that. We've returned that response because
Yep.
the field condition was slightly different than our drawings. They have 2 different kinds of conditions out there, but we've returned that, so they should be able to.
And have you got shop drawings from them? Are you requiring shop drawings?
We're gonna actually ask for a small mock-up,
Okay,
yeah, because of the.
on actual panel.
Yeah, because there's just the 2 different kind of varying conditions, and so we just wanna make sure.
I mean, the more I look at it, I don't see how it's gonna work. You know,
Yeah, so we
how are they
wanna,
gonna support something like that and. it's a lot.
so there's 2 different options that we're kind of working through on that, part of that is for the mock-up to really see how that goes. So. They should have all of that information, that they need. I haven't heard otherwise.
KMA second audit review follow-up status, and David's been pushing for a date, right?
The actual meetings, I just set up a meeting for this Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. to go over the status on the second report. Tape just finished and responded to like the report in advance for us to review for Wednesday. I know Braid has been out here checking, especially that ramp that they did it, that they redo. Braid sent me that their level is showing the ramp is between 1.8 to 2.0 percent. So we're gonna talk about that, but they agree that this area in the front here, there's some area that didn't meet compliance. But we're gonna talk about it this Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Do you think this will have to be ripped out, or are they gonna?
No, the paver here, they just
Yeah.
need to shim it.
Okay,
So I noticed that the KMA audit, being KMA, they use a 2-foot increment level. Whereas if you use a 6-foot level, of course, it's gonna average out a little differently than a 2-foot. So, I mean, I know this is a stickler for detail, but I noticed that the KMA report shows the 2-foot level, not a builder's level, so. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you, in a longer span, obviously you're gonna average out at 2%, but. I mean, I'm just bringing that up because on average, yes, I think it's 2%, but.
is there a guideline for doing the test?
It says in the MAAB, it says 2%, 2 feet increments, 2%.
So it's okay to do with what they're doing.
my understanding of MAAB says inspectors must use the 2-foot level.
Yes, that's right.
I think.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I think Braid is using.
That's why
the 2
KMA
foot.
uses a 2-foot.
Over a long ramp, if you had a point A and a point B and you should be in compliance, then build it that way. But if you build something that goes
Yeah,
like
you could have
this,
different- yeah,
you had a 30-foot level, you'd be
Yeah.
good, but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, we're gonna review it at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Give Braid a chance to explain themselves, and we can discuss it. And then do you want to go over the the variance of, there may be variance.
Yeah, sure. So we have the variances, the application ready to go. We have the narratives for the variances, there's 3 of them, right? So we're kind of settled on our end. We'll probably review the, application one more time. Dot the i's, cross the t's, make sure everything is good there. So we, TAP A from our end should be good to go for the signing off at the end of the week. To hit that deadline.
Thank you.
I guess the only question is if we were to try to get a letter from the DAC in support or talk to KMA or anything like that, then that might kind of change that timeline a little bit.
Yep.
But from our kind of perspective, we're kind of in a good spot, so it's kind of up to you guys. on that
So
one.
for what it's worth, I think the draft, I call it a draft, the TAP is put together, it's really good. It's very thorough. It reads like a little white paper pointing out the discrepancies between MAAB and ADA. I think that if this hasn't yet found its way to Michael, who's our ADA coordinator, and Lisa, well, I think Lisa's been copied.
Lisa's been, yep,
I think this is good enough for the DAC to review it and act on it and to give you something in writing of support. My only request, having read this, is you lead off, for instance, with request number 1, relief from requirement, and then there's a big explanation. I'm getting into the weeds, but I might suggest, you're seeking relief and acknowledgement of alternative means of compliance, which is ADA, and you describe how ADA could be seen that way. So you're not just saying, please relieve us of this. In other words, be very clear about what they're gonna vote, because they're a public body just like we are. Somebody's gonna have to make a motion, and that motion needs to make sense and needs to be justifiable. And yeah, I mean, I think that would sort of be my request, because you end each one of these like with a conclusion, which is fine. I think maybe end like with a proposed motion as well, in bold, so it's really,
Suggested, yeah.
yeah, because you don't want to like explain it all and have them all say, yeah, that makes sense, and then they're like not clear what they do,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's, TAP A has put together 5 pages here, it's really pretty good.
Before we get off of the Lynch, there were a couple open items, I guess from Chris, update on the design for the bridge lighting,
yep, so we,
still in the works.
yep, so we talked to our engineers, we're working through that, we'll have to issue sketch or something on that.
Or at least Griffin will still be here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I guess the question for everyone in the punch
Can I just
list.
ask a follow-up? Are you thinking we're disabling one side? That was an option we had looked at?
That was an option.
Yeah, and Mark had those ideas about moving them into taking one out, right? And
Yeah,
splitting them so they could recess in.
yeah,
You know, Mark had a good idea about that too, so there's a lot of options out there.
yeah, so I think it, well, at this point, let's talk about this, because I think there was discussions in our office about kind of doing it incrementally a little bit before we take off the whole, kind of do all that work. So one would be to lower the lighting, just to see what the lowest kind of dim it.
Yeah.
Dim the lighting. And then, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to turn them down, to just see kind of how that goes. The third step would be to turn off one side, just to see kind of how that goes. And then we can start kind of removing and kind of moving things. I just, my own slight hesitation on just kind of like.
I don't like the dimming as much because I think that's at the eye height of kids walking over there, and even dimmed, it's still looking them right in the eyes, you know. But that's, I mean, that's what the engineers are for, right? I'd rather have something aiming to the ground and
Yeah.
out of sight. And I think the dark skies, I think, says that you can't see the source of light from outside your property, so that's kind of should be aimed down so you don't see the light.
And then Jay, for basis of design, I think Mark Scott pointed this out, right, a week or 2 ago. We know what foot candles you're trying to hit.
Yep.
That should be like fundamental, because if we're beyond that by some order of magnitude, then we have to dial that back.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah,
came out with
so-
direction, it shouldn't be hard to get Griffin to do some of the things, especially like shut off one side.
Yeah,
They-
just
They're
like,
here, they should
I just
be able to
wanna,
do some things for you to test right
yeah,
away.
I just wanna see how that like feels versus taking it over. And then I think we'll add that light at the end.
Yeah.
um,
On the pedestal base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
we
I
need
mean,
the
I
light
think,
stairs.
yeah, and I think we'll probably end up where we kind of had that idea of shifting one to for the 6 instead of the 7 and all
Right,
that,
get them
but
set back a little bit, like Mark was pointing out.
yeah,
It would just be good to have some sense of direction and progress as the leaves start to fall from the trees, because
Right, yeah.
that's only gonna be more and more visible.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Good point. And the other high school, I mean, the other Lynch, sorry, I keep on saying that, seeing Reed in the high school. There were a couple areas of cracked sidewalk. Is that on a punch list somewhere to get that before it's too late?
It's on Mitch, report and punch list. So we have like about 250 item left on the punch list. At least 50 of that are the landscaper. They're coming out this Wednesday. To address those, some of them like replacing planting and stuff like that. So, yeah, we point out during construction, like some of them has to crack. That they,
Didn't help with all the heat and everything that we were in there pouring. But like, as far as landscape, these, the wet areas in the middle, the gullies there, is that the final planting? I know there's that, yeah, the weeds are what we're getting, right?
yeah,
But how about around, as you start driving around, are we getting weeds there too, or is that to be lawn of some sort?
they need,
Kind of know it, you know,
they need to pick out
They
the
do.
weed, but the grass is what we own, then there's like. Part of it is like the weed.
you don't
that
know
have to
what
come addressed.
we own and what, you know, what's weeds these days and what's big plants, I guess.
I mean, you can see it and they know what they own, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's on the drawing.
But like coming up from the bridge where the old trailer, where your trailer used to be on the whole left-hand side. Is that finished product right there with everything that's growing, or is that to be grass?
Not really grass
It's
right
not
now.
grass,
Yeah.
right.
I walk through it every day.
Yeah.
It's not
so,
No, but you don't know, you know,
mm,
what we're getting, so that's not, so they have to.
They hydro seed that, right? That section on the left near the brook.
Right,
So they hydro seed of that. There's some only planting near the road only, the bigger
right,
plant.
well, there's a
But the
lot of
rest of
tall
weed,
weeds. in
There's a
there.
lot of weed. We've been,
Yeah,
it's on the big
but
place.
then on the right-hand side, where you go into the water garden or whatever they call it, what's
we-
growing there is what we're getting, right? Or is there weed in that also,
There's a bunch of wheat there, but
Oh, it is,
all the
okay.
plants in the middle.
in the middle of what
Those,
we're
yeah,
getting?
yeah, it was what we're getting, but the rest are
It's
weeds.
just hard to tell.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna look like. That's up the street from my house.
Okay,
This is Mystic Valley Parkway. They just did the state
Oh,
brought.
like a native
crappy-
seed mix.
I'm sure if you tested the dirt, we find that it's contaminated.
Yeah.
That's what my front yard looked like.
ah,
Yeah.
mm,
But is this because it's a
Have-
native
have
seed
full-
mix or because it's
No,
just
it's weed. It's crabgrass
Generic
and.
hydro seed without
It
any
wasn't loam, just dirt from some project they brought in.
compost?
Local,
Just mixed
it
in.
wasn't even compost. But everybody on the streets out there, this particular family finally at DCR came out there with a highway mower and had mow.
so now they're cutting the
Yeah.
weeds, trimming the weeds,
Yeah, trimming the leaves, right.
nice strong
Did
grass.
they bring out the state police to block off everybody from the mower? Thought about you every morning, Don, driving by your house.
That's one curve
Sure.
question also. Over right at this entrance from Brantwood, there's a handicap ramp that goes from the sidewalk into the driveway at Lynch, but not on the roadside. Right, so you're on, like, there's like Brantwood Road, right? And then here's the driveway entrance. And then there's this little sidewalk and there's a handicap ramp on both sides of it going into the driveway. But not on the other side. So it's a one-sided handicap ramp, I guess that's what I'm asking. Is that, it seems like KMA.
Is that our project or is it Tasco's project?
Right, it's right on that cusp.
Yeah, I think it probably Tasco, right?
That though.
Okay. It's just a
Well,
strange, you know what I mean? You
direct
kind of look at it
access,
and you're like, we can't go.
yeah.
The sidewalk is kind of useless. You can't actually.
Yeah. Take a photo and send it to Megan.
Are you talking about like in front of 11 Brantwood-ish?
Yeah,
Okay,
but right at the entrance, like by the lots, so you
Okay.
come in and you go to the right.
Mhm.
Right where the gate is, it's right where the gate is. There's a sidewalk going to the road, but there's no ramp on it. That was just a curb.
Can
Very
you
nice
show it to me
curb.
when we're done?
Yeah, just take a look.
So are we all set with Lynch? Todd, anyone up there, Frank, anything on Lynch? No.
I got one question, because it's gonna come up under the manager's letter. There's a big LCN invoice for us to act
Yeah.
on tonight. So Frank, and I don't know, is Andrew with us as well? We had talked about keeping
Bad
track
charges.
of damaged ceiling tiles from all the LCN installs. Was that something, Frank, that you and Andrew had a chance to look at? Is there any clawback on this invoice from LCN?
I did talk to Braid about it. They said they'll take care of it. They'll remove.
Too few to worry about?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you guys have to back punch it, Chris, to make sure they change it.
So
Is
long
there
as you're
money
sure
left
before we
on-
approve the spending.
Yeah, is there money left on LCN's contract in case that, you know, they don't agree afterwards? We're not paying, it doesn't say if we're paying them in full or not.
I don't think we'll pay them in full.
Okay, so as long as there's some money left. All right, anything else on Lynch? No. All right, on to the gym, solar interest, so I guess I can fill everyone in. Years ago, I was on the committee in 2018. We were approached to put solar on the gym, on the whole high school. SMA at the time did some calculations based on some original drawings of the school. Came back and said solar could go on. A few of us on the committee didn't agree with all of it. So we got approved to hire Abijona Engineering, who came out and agreed with some caveats to do with snow loading and everything, and put some other areas. So we went ahead as a committee and sent a recommendation to do it on all 3 buildings except the gym. And I found the meeting minutes. Don went back and researched everything and grabbed all the notes. So that's how that stands. But there's some people in town looking to investigate it again. So that's the note for the
Can I ask a
school.
question? And so right now, there's no solar on any of the buildings.
Oh, yeah, on all the buildings except the gym.
Except the gym, okay,
See here, Carl?
got it, thank
So
you.
this is what Jay's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
So A wing, B
Right.
wing, C wing. But this is the auditorium here,
Auditorium, we did not
and
do
this is the
much.
fly loft,
Right.
and then here's the gym. And so ultimately, based on the meeting minutes that I found, SMMA actually, they like concurred with that with that evaluation. Because this was all 1970 construction,
Right,
it's
right,
long
that's true.
span. Yeah, and it was designed for a different,
Yeah, we
Dead load,
couldn't even
different
put the
snow load.
mechanicals up there for the gym. On
Yeah.
the roof. You know, we had to do
Right.
them on the stair towers.
see, like, there's no mechanical
Yeah, yeah.
equipment here.
Right.
Because there was concern about the capacity
Yeah.
of that roof.
And Abijona came back and said it could be done, you know, technically or whatever, mathematically, but they put a caveat that in a big snow load, you'd have to get up there and shovel it. So it's
That seems
like,
like a liability.
yeah, it was something we didn't need, and there's plenty of other places to put canopies, James. Transfer station, they didn't need that, so the committee voted against it at the time. So that's what the note is, just filling everyone in. We did the research, Don went down the high school, down the library, grabbed all the information. That's what that, I've let Ken know, so.
So just to be
They're
clear,
gonna push it.
Ken wasn't the one who was bringing this up, but
No.
others were bringing it up, I think, in the context of looking at expenses and revenues, you know, writ large in the
Mhm.
town. And if you look at Google Earth, that looks like a prime place to put solar panels.
Big and flat.
Put them over the
Nearby.
transfer station, put them over the the conveyors, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It'll help with snow and everything, you know.
And just for the
Stay away
record,
from
in
that.
case other people around this table are having similar conversations with folks in town about other school buildings, when we were designing the Vincent Owen Elementary School, there was also a request from the Energy Management Committee for us to be able to put solar on the roof of VO.
Mhm.
The EFPBC asked for design criteria so that could be incorporated, and there just wasn't any. So there, and the EFPBC asked and asked and asked, and so at the end of the day, structural engineer who was actually your structural, it was EDG. It's the same, you have EDG here, right? It was the same firm, probably the same principal in charge. Took the dead load calculations for the classroom wing, which is poured concrete on deck. It's not long span, and just added 10% and said, okay, now you can come back years later and comfortably put solar on the classroom wing. But did not upsize the long span for the cafeteria or the gymnasium at VO.
Mhm.
And the same thing, it was actually the spring of 18. There were two proposals. One was the
Right.
high school.
They're on the same meeting.
And the other
Yeah.
was the VO, because they were coming to the school committee at the time. And so what we said at VO was, you know, you can put it on the classroom wing, but you can't do it here. And EDG's engineer actually went back and checked their notes, even looked at the steel submittals and said, no solar on the assembly space roofs at VO. So there was real engineering analysis behind that. I don't think people were being overly conservative. He just went and checked the code and checked
Yep.
his math.
There's nothing we need to do.
No, not that, we just wanted to, I mean, it's going around town, I wanted to make it, I wanted it on there to let everyone know what's research had done and people that weren't on the committee in 18, what was voted on and everything, because everyone's, no one's around that remembers that, you know, so from around town, you know.
Like, we're not trying to be difficult, we're trying
No.
to share that this
Yeah.
came up. And a
And
lot
I will
of,
tell you, if they put it on there, I will not walk in that gymnasium. Not that it matters, but it's way too long of a span up there, and they didn't even calculate the time for everything we hang from everything, the
Yeah.
mats and everything else, that they go and hang from there, you know, that was never in the calculation, so.
and we're hanging more dividers now. I think that was something Chris Blesson looked at, Chris, for the high school. So we're dividing the gym into quarters now.
Mhm.
So the plan is to take the mat, the wrestling mat sling
Put them on
down,
cots. Yeah.
but we're putting other stuff up.
Okay. Any questions on that? Just anyone raising hand or anything, okay? So we have manager's letter. Available, just 3 items. KMA. I don't know if we have to pay there, do we? And LCN.
So this invoice is for their second visit, second audit, and then we're paying them, or is this for their first? We've already done the spending authorizations. I'm just curious, is this invoice for the first or second?
I think this is their first. I don't think I've seen the
Oh, okay.
invoice for the
Okay.
second. This is probably the first time I saw it on the.
Okay. We've done the work.
It's, wow, shockingly low.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Shockingly low for the.
Oh, I know,
types
you
of
get-
services provided.
It's a hell of a lot of value.
We also asked them for like additional work, like to help us with the. and
Say
they-
that again.
Didn't you ask them for like another proposal?
No, so I raised with this committee the prospect is so when Chris and his team at TAPE were starting to prepare something, the fact that they have the senior staffer on the board. You know, is it in our interest to kind of hire them to kind of be an advocate? But I think at the last meeting, I just threw that out there. I don't feel strongly one way or the other, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought we probably shouldn't, because the moment you hire them to become an advocate, which they will do, they abstain from not just the vote. I mean, just the whole present. I've actually seen this in action, like their employee will actually turn off her camera. It's like
Yeah.
she goes away. And because I think the issue is really clear, that might be actually helpful to have a KMA brain at the table as they noodle
Yep.
over this, you know? So I think we're good.
You make a motion?
Yeah, so we're okay with the LCN.
Yep.
Okay, so I move we authorize the town manager to make the payments outlined in Stephen Delaney's memo of September 15th to the committee for KMA, Laro Hill and LCN as outlined in the memo.
Interim town manager,
Interim.
unless he's gotten a
Okay.
promotion.
Interim.
I did see that and I
Yeah.
wondered.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they've jumped that quickly.
Yeah.
I'll second the motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And Mark,
Right.
Todd,
Aye.
Emily?
Yes.
Is that everyone that's on there? Yeah. All right. Next meeting's 9/22 and then 9/29, both on site again until we get this place finished. Right, getting close.
Yeah.
Right. Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mark? Todd?
Aye.
Emily?
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
You too.